But when they're in town, and I went to the World Series in the playoffs last year, this guy is the biggest star in the game. How do you market it even more? He's got a huge personality when he's doing all that stuff. It's international. And I think if I'm going to bring it back to football, Travis Hunter has the ability to do maybe this wide receiver cornerback thing, which would be breaking ground. Maybe he has a chance to maybe be the Ohtani of football in that, hey, we can go and do it in a different way than it's been done traditionally for all these years.
Okay, let's talk about that. I've seen videos of Travis Hunter. I believe he got married. Congratulations.
Congrats, Travis.
Forever's a long time. Obviously, big decision. I am a happily married man, as are a lot of people on this stage. So congrats to Travis Hunter. I saw him going into a kid's front yard, I think, to work with him down there. He's everything that everybody says about him is all good things. Guy's football IQ's through the roof. He's a joy to be around. He loves ball. He doesn't like doing anything else. Travis Hunter, obviously, a lot of expectations being drafted that high. He has talked about being a complete football player. He wouldn't feel as if he's doing the game justice if he didn't play on offense and on defense. Then in one of the rookie OTAs, he didn't take any snaps at DB. He only took routes. What is the conversation happening down there in Duval with Travis Hunter? Because this is the AFC South, brother. And Travis Hunter, I don't know if he wants to come into this Lucas Oil Lighthouse and deal with both sides of the ball, but it sounds like this is actually going to happen. And how does Jacksonville feel about it?
I think the intention is he's going to get an opportunity this summer to do both, and we'll see how it goes. The truth of the matter is they took such a big swing in trading up and giving up next year's first-round pick and giving all these other future picks to get him. They're going to maximize this. I like Jacksonville's approach to this whole entire new regime in that 39-year-old head coach, 34-year-old GM, Grant Udinski, the offensive coordinator, 29 years old.
Sheesh.
And their defensive coordinator, Campanelli, who might be Staten Island-based, Anthony Campanile, might be from Staten Island. I'm not sure. He's a New York, New Jersey guy. 42 years old. So they're like, we're going young. We're taking a big swing. We're tired of the retread stuff. And I appreciate the fact they went for it in the draft. And then you saw Gladstone's press afterwards. Talks like he's from out of space, and it's a different kind of generation, how he talks.
You've known Stoner for a while, I assume, because he comes through the McVay camp out there in Los Angeles. Sean McVay came on the program after he was hired, and we looked at a picture of Stoner, and we're like, they hired a 12-year-old. They hired an actual 12-year-old down there in Jacksonville. And then McVay comes on and goes, take it easy on my man Stoner. He loves the game, sees the game the same way I do. So if you have that young of people in so many pillar positions, I assume it's all long-term thinking down there because they still got to build a stadium. I mean, this is not an easy couple years for Jacksonville going forward.
Look, they've got the quarterback signed, but we're waiting for him to take that leap. And as we talk Jaguars football, everyone already is like, they want to be interesting. They don't want to be the 32nd team in the league. They don't want to be the team that all the networks are like, you give us a Jaguars game? What are we doing? They want to be a team that's relevant, but also a team that can play in an interesting brand of football. Last year's draft, this kid right here, Brian Thomas, was as good as any other rookie wide receiver. That includes Neighbors, that includes Harrison, it includes Adunze. They've got a feeling they've got some stuff there. And then Stoner and Liam Cohen come from that youthful Rams organization. So
has Liam figured out the whole...
I don't know about the Duval thing, man. I don't get it.
What if they just change it for him?
If they start winning, and like you mentioned, they figure out Trevor Lawrence and they get him playing top level. You talked about Travis Hunter. Him having Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side is huge for him and his potential to grow and be a great rookie.
Travis feels like a home run human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like everything we've heard out of him, home run.
So raw at wide receiver, though, in the fact that he hasn't been coached as a wide receiver in that way, where a lot of the stuff he did at Colorado was all natural, big hands. I'll go after the catch. I'll do it. Now he's going to be treated as a wide receiver and given that NFL coaching and the ability to elevate the game even more.
Because you got to be in a spot. So the difference between NFL and college. College is an area. NFL is like a spot. And if you're not at said spot, guys like Darius J. Butler will beat you to that spot, and it's a pick going the other way. And Trevor Lawrence needs to have a great year, so he needs to have a lot of trust in you. So, I see a lot of people on the internet judging Travis Hunter's routes. His hands are down. He's giving away. All those things are accurate.
Yeah.
All those things are real takes.
It's all new.
But also it's something he can learn. I think, with how athletic he is. I think these are techniques and fundamentals that he can learn and work on and sell. And I think that means his upside is still very, 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 very much ahead of where he is now. So good luck to him. But he's got a problem in the AFC South with the Indianapolis Colts.
No doubt.
We joked about it earlier with Danny Dimes introducing himself to the city, and the city introducing itself to Danny Dimes this weekend. I love that. Quarterback competition at the top. What have you heard from the quarterback competition, and what does that mean? Quarterback competition. They're splitting ones reps.
Yeah.
They're splitting time in meeting rooms.
Yes,
how does that work? I don't know how that works.
It's going to be pure. It's going to be a wide open competition between the two. And Chris Ballard could have just passed on this and said, you know what, we drafted Anthony Richardson 4th overall. My name's on that. No, they went and they brought him real competition. And I could tell you, Minnesota was very interested in bringing Daniel Jones back. And he chose to be an Indianapolis Colt. He looked at this situation and said, I can win that job and I can revitalize that franchise. So he's not coming here to be the backup, and Richardson isn't willing to just give it to him. So very rarely in the NFL these days do you get two young quarterbacks fighting for their careers. You have that in Indianapolis, and I think that's good for both of them.
I think so, too. Cannot wait to see them battle. I think that's tough for a team, though. I think the locker room is going to know who's winning that battle a lot earlier than everybody else. And I don't know how you don't have biases. Not that our show has any biases. Nope. Obviously, we are
right down the middle.
Every time. Just like this Eastern Conference Finals. That's why we brought in the coach who will lead us right here. Okay? We checked the box here.
That's right.
For that entire thing. But the locker room's not going to be like that. I'll be intrigued to see how it all gets managed. That's a lot of effort out of Shane Steichen. Now, let's go to Green Bay. Ty, go ahead.
Yeah, Schrags, what's the latest with Jair Alexander? Saw it came out that, they offered him kind of a different contract, or they're trying to work on it, but the sides are still a ways away. Obviously, the last couple times you've been on, I asked because you had dinner with Matt LaFleur the night before the NFL draft, or 2 nights before. What can you tell us about this situation? Is this close to getting done? Because the Packers still need Jair Alexander.
I think this comes a lot differently than what you were reading leading into the draft, that he was supposed to be traded draft week. I came on this show, and I said, I'm a lot higher on them getting this thing settled, because I knew Matt and Jeff Hafley, in addition to Matt, both wanted to keep Jair in the fold and consider him a team leader and a chance to get it done. This contract situation, as Schneiderman is reporting, seems like it's at least being there's a conversation. But he said he's going to be at mandatory camp either way. So to me, we are light years ahead in this relationship as opposed to where we were. The perception was going into the draft. So I'm confident that both sides want to get it done. It's just got to be sensible how to make it happen.
Packers fans want it done, right?
Yeah, they need him.
Healthy.
When he's healthy, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. He hasn't been healthy the last several years, and they kind of did. I don't want to say cleaned house, but you look at their depth chart, they don't have a lot of guys who have started a lot of games in the NFL at cornerback. They obviously went out and got Hobbs from Vegas this offseason, but when he is elite, I mean, me and D-Bud have talked about this, he's an all-pro cornerback. They need him.
Absolute game changer when he's out there and healthy. And you mentioned Jeff Hafley, his defense, the leap that they took, even with him not being out there full-time, being healthy, bringing in over former Giant safety Xavier McKinney, who was dynamic all-pro as well. He is a big cornerstone piece who could potentially, he has another big-time year next year. He's one of those guys that get another big deal if he can stay on that field.
It's still only 27 years old.
Dynamic playmaker, and from everything that I've heard, the guys in the locker room like him.
One of the greatest stories we've ever heard still.
Yeah.
It's him just naming himself captain. That's the greatest.
Carolina.
That is the absolute greatest.
He forgot.
I couldn't even imagine LaFleur. LaFleur had to be so pissed.
But how did LaFleur not know he's from Charlotte?
Yeah, it's on LaFleur. That's certainly on LaFleur for not naming him captain. I mean, but from that moment until what you said, it's like the relationship is obviously. I assume LaFleur learned a lot about who Jair is there in that entire moment. And, sometimes there's frustrations that have to come to a head for people to develop their relationship the most. Feels like they like him. He likes them. Yeah. He'd be great for him. Hopefully they're able to get a deal done. He is a great personality.
Yes.
He is great for the league. I would like him to do more interviews. That's my only hope.
How do we feel about the quarterback though? Because
don't do this.
Jordan Love coming in the last
look
season.
Great.
Everyone was, this could be the MVP. This could be the guy that they got it right again.
Vikings and Bears fans back here saying he sucks.
I mean, I saw.
Bears fans said that was not me. Hold on, we do not have our shit figured out either.
I saw him. That Brewers game, throwing out that first pitch.
Anytime a pitch goes out of the frame, not a great
What
sign.
happened? I did not see this.
He threw a first pitch.
Pull it.
It was
He was too cool for school out there. He kind of lollipopped.
Jordan Love threw an opening pitch, first pitch?
He did.
Do we have it?
Quarterback.
I think his
the level of his competition.
bingo. Well,
Always has.
Hey, listen, he's
Russell Wilson.
What does he owe the Brewers? He doesn't know the Brewers anything.
Oh, no.
He can't be lollipopping it in there.
Hold on.
He
He didn't want to hurt his arm.
I was a little surprised we didn't start the
no.
show with this.
What are we doing here?
That's strictly because I did not see that until right now.
This is a
Can we go
quarterback.
back to the beginning?
You got to burn it down the middle.
He's a quarterback.
I mean, it was a completion, though.
Yeah.
It was a completion.
Yeah, it might be picked off.
I've thrown one first pitch, and it was for the Indianapolis Indians here, the AAA affiliate for the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's the name of the team. That's the name of the team. I agree. Hey, that's the name of the team. That's the name. I didn't name the team.
That guy gets it.
I don't own the team. It is the name of the team.
It's an honor.
In Indianapolis, Indiana, it is the Indianapolis Indians. They're the AAA affiliate.
Come on.
This guy's a bad guy. It's right here. He went to a game. This guy actually bought a bunch of tickets.
Yep.
How could you not? Beautiful park.
Oh, it's
Beautiful
so nice.
park.
Right downtown Indianapolis.
Great.
I mean, it's
Fun
got
time.
It is gorgeous. It is a great park.
A lot of booze.
To be clear, I think in that area they could get some more space and build that up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Indianapolis would be a great baseball.
Well, the
team.
owner would have to spend some money.
It would be, but I'm saying if it was a
Need to
MLB
change the
team,
affiliates, yeah.
yeah, if it was an actual team, I think it would do very well here. People love it. You go to a game. When Paul Skeens was here, place sold out. People were standing in the stadium, in downtown buildings. It was a beautiful thing. They asked me to throw one.
How'd it go?
So I never threw off a bump. I didn't grow up playing baseball. Used to go down to Burrow Field Zone and enjoy the entertainment. It was a good time. Everybody was down there. Never played baseball, though. Tim McAfee hated baseball. Wouldn't sign me up for it. Always had a good arm, pretty explosive, good hand-eye. Could have been a great baseball player. I think there's a chance I could have been good. Tim McAfee was not about it. He said, we're not committing to this.
Too
We
long,
can't-
no clock.
Boom. So I've never done it. So then I get asked to do the first pitch, like day of or whatever. Call my friends that play baseball, and they go, you need to throw through the catcher whenever you're up there. Because your natural thought is going to be to throw it down because you're elevated. You need to throw it through because I want to throw heat. I want to throw absolute gas. Of
course.
Right.
So I went in there. Lo and behold, they were right. I tried to throw that down. Skipped it through the legs of the catcher.
Oh, well, that's
hit
his
the
fault.
back thing. Put a hole. I put a hole in one of the promotional banners in the back. Maybe worst opening pitch of all time. But the conversation at point is, I said I'm bringing it.
Yeah.
Bingo.
And I think if you're an athlete and you go up there, I think that is you got a chance here to actually attempt an actual pitch.
Burn one down the middle.
Jordan Love said, I play at Green Bay every other week. I don't need to be proving myself to anybody, and just lobbed it in there and didn't get hurt. Is that what we're assuming? And do starting quarterbacks normally throw it hard? Because there's a lot of potential opportunity for elbow, shoulder, you name it, injuries with the difference in weight.
I don't know if he played baseball growing up. I've seen Bake Mayfield throw a first pitch, and
Russell Wilson.
He burned one. Russell's a second baseman, so that's a little
For
bit
the
different.
Yankees.
He's
He
obviously
was in
got
full
the-
uniform, full glove.
which is obviously what Russ is going to do no matter what.
Sunglasses.
Are you worried about Jordan Love? Like, D-Butts brings up a good point. I'd not seen
concerned.
that. That was
I
his
was afraid.
decision.
Yeah,
Is he a competitor?
That's it. That's what worries me. Is I don't love the too cool for school approach because I know if Jordan Love wants to, he's burning that thing 97 right down the
Surprised he didn't throw off his
Nick
back.
just
down the
said,
middle.
Nick just said, why didn't you just go underhand?
middle.
Like
You
the
can't
floater
do-
from Rodengarten.
I mean, you can't do
when he
that.
pulls the glove back and he goes floater or whatever. He says, go for it. It's his mom's
That'd be
glove.
cool.
Why didn't he just do that?
Well, because that's Mickey Mouse. You don't do box. You know what he's thinking? I need an ice cold Miller Lite, and I need a hot dog stat. He's not, because, again, the Brewers
This guy's
suck.
eating hot dogs and drinking beers?
I hope so if he's at a ball game, like a real American would do.
If he's Danny Dimes
Yeah.
on Memorial Day weekend,
Yeah, exactly. I think, you know what? Actually, you raise a good point. He might have had to scurry out there, and he might have been doing the flyover.
Maybe
he might
on,
have been piloting,
maybe on Memorial Day weekend, he didn't want to show up the troops. He just said, hey, let me get out
All
here.
right, so Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, great guy.
Pretty bold of the Vikings fan.
great
of
guy.
anybody to be.
They got J.J. McCarthy. He's okay. He's got nothing
Is
to
he?
worry about.
Is he A-okay?
We don't know. We have no idea. We just hope for the best and
How many
assume.
playoff wins does he have?
In college, a lot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
No,
good.
Had a lot of playoff
Sounds
college
good.
wins.
Cade McNamara had a couple college playoff wins, too.
Boom.
Where's he playing? Western Carolina or something?
No,
Hey,
he
it's a
was the
good
first
lad.
pick.
He's a Vikings fan. He traveled to the show. You don't need to be attacking him. He's a good man.
He attacked me first.
He's got an Indy hat. He lives here.
Did you see all the coaches were at Kenny Chesney at the Sphere? You had
Who?
Kevin O'Connell,
Okay.
Sean Payton,
What?
and Andy Reid all together backstage.
That
Kenny
show was
Chesney
probably
at the Sphere in
awesome.
Vegas.
I couldn't even fathom Kenny Chesney at
So
that Sphere.
awesome.
I think from the
Nation.
pictures that I've seen,
bringing it.
he's taken advantage of it.
Way
I
better
assume the
than
weight-
you two.
Well, we're not going to get into that. Obviously, we've had our entire take on the YouTube program that we watched at the Sphere for $60,000 for the suite. Okay, we talked about it. They weren't playing for us.
No.
They
They
weren't
weren't
playing for us.
anybody.
Big
No,
butt.
they weren't for their diehard loyal
Well,
fans.
Mike Foss is their biggest fan, and he said it sucked, too. So,
Poor Mike.
It was great.
Off the record.
I just didn't know any of the songs. I didn't know any of the songs, so it was tough for me. So I just got like 250 milligrams in me and just rode the ride up the night.
Which turned out not to be good because they threw up.
The words that they threw up there were certainly very, very aggressive. So I was kind of getting tripped out a little bit. I mean, it was Whatever the case, the Sphere had a lot of opportunity.
It did.
A lot of potential. Feels like Kenny Chesney's taking care of it. These guys, whenever they're traveling like this, do we assume here they are? Kevin O'Connell is 7 feet tall. He is so tall. He used to be an NFL quarterback. People forget. Incredibly handsome, so smart. He was a great quarterback, obviously made it to the league, was a backup for a while until Tannenbaum said, hey, sit down. Before you touch your seat, you're fired. Get out of here. Great head coach. Are they talking ball this entire time, you think? How often are they sharing secrets? How often are they texting each other? You know these people much better than we do. Do they share game with each other often?
I 100% think that football does come up in that situation. They probably just do a little small talk, but knowing Sean, knowing Andy, knowing Kevin, I could imagine them getting very deep in the weeds about their quarterbacks, about the offense.
Maybe 50 milligrams in there at the Sphere.
Boys of Falls playing in the background.
Peyton definitely enjoyed himself. I'll say he was sending me pictures, videos. He was having a blast at this thing.
Kevin O'Connell's like, this kind of makes me think we're going to hurry up.
I mean, Sean Payton's in the Boys of Fall music video.
He is.
Him and Kenny go way back. Oh, yeah. He's in the music video giving a speech to a high school football team.
Kenny was at Sean's wedding. Like, they are that tight, those guys, yes.
Oh, so they're having a good time.
Those guys
Great time.
are.
Andy Reid and Kevin O'Connell probably trying to piece together how it all works, if I had to guess. Trying to deconstruct the entire show. They're probably asking Kenny Chesney what all they had to do. Like, think about the graphics that you got to put together.
Yeah, Dana White, he just won awards last week at the award thing.
Emmys?
Sports Emmys?
The Sphere won the Emmy for performance and I don't know what the hell it was called.
This is great.
Best award thing.
Dana White won a couple of award things.
He's not doing a gimmick there. He legitimately forgot the name there.
Yeah, completely forgot.
He was looking for an assist earlier and nobody gave him one.
Because Dana talked about it on the show when he announced he wanted to actually win, Emmys for it, and they
Best,
did.
like,
They won a
visual
few.
experience.
Yeah,
like
bingo. Yeah.
Hey, Schrager, you won an Emmy. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats.
We talked about you. You joined our show the next day. That was back when, even though I assume a lot of people were telling you should not come on our show, you would come on our show. So we're very thankful for you doing that.
Appreciate you
Always
having me.
happened. The day after the Emmys, though, I mean, you were pretty hungover. You got pretty banged up after winning the Emmy and celebrated. That's a massive ordeal in the TV world. We're trying to understand this legitimately every year because we watch people that we have a lot of respect for get bummed out for not winning them. And I'm always just like, hey, you have an audience, you've had a job for 30 years. Like, that's the award. Like, I think that is in our eyes, but we don't come from the TV world at all. None of us probably thought we were going to be doing this.
Nope.
So it's like we're trying to understand it. It's a big deal. And does this like how legacies are made through these things? Is that why you got so excited?
I think it definitely it feels like to be recognized. It's pretty cool. Now the ratings are one thing, and the celebrities, all this stuff. But when the people who vote on the Emmys actually deem you as one of those guys, it's pretty cool. Now I haven't been since I won that Emmy. The night is eternally long. It is a
lot of awards.
4 hours. I think 59 awards are given.
Damn.
And I wouldn't say winning an Emmy has done anything that's going to change the way I look at things, but that night, it's a really cool experience.
It feels like your peers
a coronation
are saying,
or
you've
something.
done good.
Yeah, and to see like, all right, because we at Good Morning Football had kind of a show that.
Hey, hell of a run, buddy.
Hell of a run. Hell of a run.
That was a hell of a
9 years
show.
I was on that show. Love that show. Indianapolis has been great to our show, Good Morning Football, and we were always like, here's how football shows are done. And we were like, let's flip it on its head and do it a little differently. And let's kind of zig when everyone else is zagging. So to be recognized was really cool. But I think it's a travesty that this show hasn't won anything.
No, we don't nominate it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, with it being 4 hours long, like, if I put any kind of mental capacity into it halfway through the show, if we didn't win, I'd leave. I'd be so pissed.
Bro,
I wouldn't be able to
Dan
sit there for the
Patrick's
rest
show,
of
and
the
I don't
time.
know the relationship between those guys get nominated every year. And they lose every year.
We love Dan
I
Patrick.
love
Dan
too.
Patrick's been good to
Those
us.
guys have been great. And they lose every year, best daily show. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, at some point, like, you keep nominating them.
Seton was pissed.
No.
I think they joke about it.
They said they were honored to be
Nominated?
which that made me think, like, you guys have been, like, the standard in this world for so long and have had an audience for so long and a job for so long and have set narratives in sports for so long. It's like, it feels like that's an award. You know, that's why whenever I see people get like so pumped up for it, I'm like, all right, I got to understand what this is. I think it like legitimizes legacies.
It's like,
It's how people view it.
Who votes?
That's the thing. It's a mysterious blob of people that vote. I think it's producers around different networks, and I'm sure someone at ESPN could tell us who does it. But it's more of the traditional, I think, guys who've been in the truck, guys who put on events. it definitely is the biggest night in sports media because everyone's there. So when you see a Scott Van Pelt, or you see, a Bob Costas, or you see even like
who won? Charles, right? Charles won the big one.
That's it. But I'll tell you what,
Jen Latta.
Jen Latta won 3 of them.
Yeah, she dominated.
Congrats, Jen.
our guy Orlovsky was nominated, and I'm telling Dan, I'm like, that's a huge. He did fart on air.
That's
he
his
farted
thing.
on air.
That's his thing.
That's what he's known for.
Easy with our guy.
That's not what he's known for. He's known for a lot of other stuff, but he certainly has.
Your guy, maybe.
He's certainly farted on air.
But Dan got nominated
numerous times.
And he lost to Charles Barkley, and Dan was bummed. He's texting me. He's like, I want to win. I'm like, I get it, bro, but like. Charles Barkley, like that, there is no shit. But you're a competitor and you want to win, and so Orlovsky was genuinely bummed out that he didn't beat Barkley. I'm like, that's why you're good, Dan, because you want to get to that.
Dan's going to win that, Dan.
Let's go, Dan.
Not if Barkley's nominated.
Yeah, as long as Charles Barkley's on the microphone, I think everybody else should probably just understand what's going on here, have a little self-awareness. You're talking about a guy that could say anything about anything and it'd be good somehow.
Huh?
Charles Barkley.
Did he get back to you yet?
Charles Barkley has a gift of not answering phone calls.
Can we get him in here?
Huh?
Has he returned?
No, he hasn't. I don't think.
They had a good survey.
Nothing. Not a single thing.
He's making the turn at Gray Eagle right now, so
Yeah.
maybe.
Good course.
It's a good course.
It is a nice course.